Hey guys, Michelle here from Cashel Creations. Welcome back to my channel. So how many of us have purchased or have been gifted machines or tools for their craft, and sometimes they just don't have the time to play with it, open it, play with it again? I am definitely one of those persons. I tell you that my Cricut maker I purchased, and it took me over a year to open it, mainly because I was intimidated by it initially, and then it was like totally lost, and this was definitely about 5 years ago. So unfortunately the same thing happened again, except I'm not gonna wait a year. So I was gifted this Scan and Cut DX from my mom and my daughter for my birthday this year. And that was in the month of January, and we are in the month of October. So that kind of gives you an idea as to how long this has been sitting saying, open me, open me, open me. So I wanted to kind of do an unboxing with you guys. I'm going to take it out of the package. We're going to see what was given to me within the package. I want to think that they bought this off of Amazon. I could be wrong. But I believe you can purchase this from your local craft stores. I know the Joann's has it, but I definitely want to share it with you guys. It's probably gonna hopefully be in one part. Not sure how long this video will be, but let's see what we got. So it says, let's get started. And so we have here the Getting Started manual. Thank you for your purchase. Definitely probably have to register the machine. That's always important when you purchase machines that are expensive. Anything that requires registration, definitely do that. The purpose of a Scan and Cut, if you are unfamiliar with what it does, it is actually a cutting machine, sort of like the Silhouette, the Cricut, the Juliet. There's so many new machines nowadays, I really can't keep up. But this particular machine has the capability of actually scanning and then cutting, which in a sense comes from the word scan and cut. It is actually, from my understanding, the only machine that actually can do that. And so my intention was to request this as a gift was to stamp things, or to print out or receive cardstock that have those embellishments that could possibly be scanned and then cut, where I'm not doing the fussy cutting myself. So I kind of really wanted to have that capability so that I could be doing it while I'm working on something else. So that is really my intent here as to what I want to use it for, along with it is actually nice to have a backup machine for the cutting. I do not have a Silhouette, I just have a Cricut maker. So it is also nice to have the dual functioning. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all this stuff off to the side, because you're not here to see me fiddle with instruction manuals. Okay, here's our power cord. And then here is the actual machine. So I'm gonna actually move this off to the side and then bring it out of the box. Oh, we have a mat. So we got a mat that comes with it. Very different from the Cricut maker. I'm gonna put that to the side, and then I'm going to be right back. All right, so I took it out of the box, and let's take it out of the plastic. If I find the hole, I guess I should have done that before I started filming. Oh, here it is. This is actually not heavy at all. Well, I felt like it was going to be heavy like our big shot machines, where you have that cranking capability. What is nice about this, from what I did my homework, they do have different colors on the sides if you're looking for that. I do think they have a black one, a mint green, this one's the blue. They may have either a pink or a purple one. I love blue. Blue is my favorite color. So I really hoped that they would get me the blue one, which they did. So I'm really happy about that. And so it does have a face here for the LCD screen. I do know that there's other models that the screen is actually larger. And I'm not sure what other differences that one may have. But since this was a machine for me, I wanted to make sure that it just gave me the basics. So let's see, we open it here. Make sure you guys are seeing all that. So it's gonna show us how to load the mat, which I can put that off to the side for right now. And then bring out all of the, okay, so here has the option for storage. This is a cute little pouch, and it has our cutting blades and a little spatula. That is so cute. I like how it has a little pouch for it so you don't lose it. So I'm just gonna put that in there for now. Let's see, is there anything else in this one? No, but it's a nice large compartment. Let's see. These are Cricut obviously, but let's see what could fit in there. That's nice. Not like any of this stuff will fit in, like purpose wise, but at least you have an idea of what could be stored in there. One thing I don't like doing is storing stuff in there because this will eventually go up, and when you go up, everything goes down. So just something to think about. And then this LCD screen comes up, which is nice. So let's see, that goes in. How do you put it down? Okay, I'm not gonna force it. Let's see, so on the back here, we have trays. I'm gonna take this off. There's where our power cord is going to go. And let's turn it this way. So I believe, yeah, so there's the tray to come out. We do have, this is also Wi-Fi enabled, which is nice. So I don't have to have cords coming out of it. The Cricut Maker is also Wi-Fi enabled, so that's nice as well. Here on the right hand side, you can see the ports if you don't have Wi-Fi capabilities, if you're at a crop or something. And on this side is 1 and 2, which I'm sure I'm going to learn all about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick break. For me, for you, it will feel like a second. I'm gonna install the programs and read some instructions, and I'll be right back with some options. So sit tight. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I plugged it in. I installed my, what is it called? The blade holder. And now I realized that it actually came with a free project. So I found out that I just have to push this down for it to actually work, in the sense of closing it. And so we're just gonna make a quick project, and then we're gonna get into an option of cutting a scan and cut option. So let's see if we can do this right. So here it's going to tell me, or not, it is on. Okay, here we go. So it's telling me to choose pattern, and it is a touch screen. Then we're going to choose that option. Then what are we gonna do next? I guess two, 3.1, oh, this. And then we're gonna choose that option. And it says we are going to leave it the exact same way we have there, and hit set. And then we're gonna hit OK. Then it says to load the mat. So I already have the cardstock that it came with in the kit, and the arrow wants to go up. So I have it here, and I guess I'm supposed to press that. Okay. So it, all right. And now please select, and we're gonna select cut, and then press start. And it says it's gonna take 3 minutes. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I will be back when it's done because I don't want to keep you on here for 3 minutes straight. So sit tight. Okay, so I'm back. It says it's done, and I'm gonna click OK, and then I'm gonna hit the mat thing again for it to come out. And so I have to admit that this is like really quiet in comparison to the Cricut Maker, and I think it has to do with the rollers. Even though it said it takes 3 minutes, which I actually kind of like. One thing I did notice, I didn't need a computer to do this. Like, it literally was on my screen. Granted, this wasn't an image that I uploaded onto the Design Space site for Cricut, but I thought that was pretty cool. So we're just gonna remove this, and usually nowadays we go backwards so we don't curve the paper. If you're not aware of that, if you ever find out that when you remove your paper from a mat, and it doesn't lay flat, it's because you curved your paper off the mat versus the opposite direction. So when you flip your mat over like I did and then curve the mat and let the paper lay flat, that's where you kind of get the flat surface. So this is actually cute. Hopefully you guys can see it did do perforation, like yeah, perforated marks, and it did cut out. And I know it's a brand new machine, but that cut out beautifully. I know with the Cricut you need 2 tools to do that. Or I guess more of a scoring feature, right? But to me, I think that's more of a option there. So now we're just gonna make it, and it's kind of showing you here how it was made. And so okay, so the perforated marks are what's going to be the part that I'm going to raise up. So I'm just going to go like this all the way around. And then what it seems like I'm going to do is hold my crown, which is also perforated, and that is going all right, it would be great if I keep them together and then I go like a pillow. There's one. And there's 2. That is such a cute little pillow box. And I can fit so many cute things in there. Imagine if we did this with pattern paper for holiday seasons, birthdays. That is so cute. All right, so that was fun doing that. Now the next thing I want to try with you guys is the scan and cut feature, because essentially that is what I showed you what to do. Now the pamphlet does come in the quick reference guide, which I'm probably going to keep out most often because it does relay all the different options you can do, and the direct cut and scan option is right here. So let's see. Select scan, select direct cut, select and design for your cutting area data, touch the key to specify the scan settings, attach the original stamped paper, printed paper, thick sticker to the mat. For smooth feeding, align it, touch the start key to start scanning, touch the OK key. Okay, let's get this started. So I guess I'm gonna go to the home button. Okay, to delete the patterns. Yes. All right, we're gonna remove all of this off the mat. Now, when I was reading reviews about this, I did see how some people indicated that the mat tends to lose its stick fast. So that's something to think about if you're wanting to invest into a machine like this. Definitely look at the cost of the materials to see if it's worth it. I don't think I'm going to use this as often as I use my Cricut, but I do want to use it. And you can kind of see it already made an indentation on my mat of the item we just did. Okay, so I'm getting this all cleaned off so there's nothing on here. And so I'm done clearing off the mat, and my thought was, let me do some stamping. So I took a quick break and I decided to go through the recent haul that I acquired from scrappingmadesimple.com from their warehouse sale that I did in July. And I felt like, since I don't have any dies for these, let's see what this thing can do. So I went ahead and got some cardstock, used my Misty, and did some stamping. And I did them on all these sheets. I kind of did a test run before I came back and to show you guys, because I want to make sure this time I know what I'm doing. So I actually went ahead and did one of just the monsters, and these came out so cute. What I liked so much about the fact that, first of all, I didn't need a die to do this. Second of all, I don't have that die impression. Sometimes you get that, or you're off-centered with the die, like it shifted or whatnot when you went through your die machine. Not to say I'm not gonna have dies, because I have a ton of them, but definitely something to think about when I don't have the option for a die, or the set doesn't come with one, or I want the set and the price is just too high. So let's go ahead and make some of these. What I wanted to do was try this one to see how it works. So I watched a demo before I came on here, and I found out that I don't really need to center it in the corner. I can actually put it wherever I want. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it in the machine with a little up arrow here. So let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that. Using the up arrow, it's going to start feeding. And then on the screen, I am going to tell it what I want it to do. So I am going to hit scan. I'm going to do direct cut. I'm going to choose my machine. I'm going to do a 12 by 12 mat, even though I'm going to specify it once it's done. That option is also telling you whether or not you want it to be a color print that they're reviewing or a black and white. The stylus that it came with is actually going to help us when we're going to size the cut image that we wanted to focus on, because since I've used this mat for cutting, it might pick up other options on the screen, and I really hope you guys can see that. Let me tilt the camera a little over there. Hopefully that's not too much of a view. We can see how it's grabbing all of our content. So I'm going to hit OK. Then it did pick up other content around it that we don't want. So I'm going to take this little arrow and I'm going to make sure that I'm telling it how close to the scanned image I want it to go. And so kind of you see there is the box that it's zooming in on. And then we're going to ask it to preview. And so it's showing us exactly the size that it's going to focus on. And we're going to say yes or okay. Now here is where we're going to determine to give it that offset. So the offset symbol is going to be this little guy right here. And so it automatically gives it in increments of 4. Now you can go up higher, but when I did the last one, it actually was perfect at this setting. If you want a thicker offset, you would just go up higher. So I'm gonna hit OK. I'm gonna move forward. Now it does have that little mark there, and it's probably just from the previous images, but I'm not gonna worry about that. And now it's gonna process. So now we're going to select what we want it to do, and we want it to cut. So we're gonna click cut, and now we're gonna tell it to start. So since this is only 2 images, it's only gonna take a minute. And so I'm gonna actually let it go so you can kind of see the process of it. And here we go a little bit further out. The way the machine is, it's a little bit of an angle, so I'm really sorry about that. Tried to bring it a little closer, but wasn't working. Now once it's done, I'm just going to answer finish cutting. And then I'm just gonna tell it to remove the mat. I'm gonna hit OK. It's just letting me know that once I remove it, the fact of it being able to sync up again is probably gonna be off. So here is my cut image. Not sure if you can see where it's cut, but what we're gonna do is we're just going to, pull it this way so that the image is as flat as can be. And I did find it, because it's a new mat, it is getting a little sticky. So I'm going to try to make sure I don't. There's one. There's 2. So that mat is really big. So here we have our 2 die cut image. And so now I can add these to my stash, and I can put faces on them, color them, do whatever I want with them. But now I don't have to fussy cut them. And if I did fussy cut them, I don't have to worry about where my lines are and did I get cut too close? Did I cut off the ink part? So I find this so much fun. So let's do one more, since I already did the Frankenstein Halloween ones. Let's do these little puppy dogs. One thing I did notice, and I'm going to point it out here, is this little part here, whether it was the stamp or the ink, I noticed that it didn't give a solid curvature. So there is a gap. One thing I did realize is that the machine is not going to recognize that. So they're going to think to cut that. So to avoid that, we're just going to use a pencil, because we can erase that later. And we're just going to make that line whole. So real quick, I'm just going to very lightly make that line whole. And there's one above the belly. And I'm going to do that mainly because I want to make sure it goes completely around the dog. Now this little marker here is just because of my ink. So we'll see how that interacts. So I'm going to again go to my mat. Just place it somewhere on the mat itself, because remember, it's going to scan the whole image. And once again, we're going to put it inside the mat. Inside the machine. We're going to load it and basically do the same options. So choose scan, direct cut, machine. This is where we're going to change it to color or black and white. And I'll just show you real quick, since I didn't before. By choosing that, it's already defaulted to black and white. But if you had a colored image, that's where you would choose it. So since we're not changing it, we're just going to hit OK. And we're going to hit start, so it starts scanning the image. And last time I kind of hit my big shot, so I'm trying to avoid that. Okay. So it's recognizing the image, and it's going to ask us the same sort of questions as it did before. Is that what we wanted? Okay, and now we're going to tell it where we want it to cut. Okay, and then we can click on preview. And we're gonna click OK. It's getting a little part there, but we're just gonna ignore it. We're gonna give it another thing of 0.04. Okay, okay. I feel like I'm saying okay a lot. We're gonna choose what function we want it to do, and that's gonna be cut. And now we're gonna tell it to start. So now it's, again, because the items are very small, it's gonna only be a minute for us to cut. And let's see if we have the same outcome as the others. That little dog in the hammock is just so stinking cute. One thing I do want to try next is coloring, but I feel like that might take away from the issue, unless maybe because it's a black and white stamp with the color. I'm gonna have to figure that one out for the next time we do this. So again, when it's done, I can unload it, and then we can also erase the portions we did with the pencil marks. So we did unloading it, and I'm just gonna hit the home key, and it's just asking me if I want to delete the patterns. I don't really need to keep this in storage. It does have a memory bank if you wanted to do that, and I'm gonna say okay. I just want it to go home. So I'm gonna push that down, and hopefully you guys can see that it really did a nice job of cutting around the options. So we're gonna flip it over and remove it this way. And we're just gonna carefully, so we have an umbrella, a little doggy, and a pool, a floating one, and a dog on the hammock. Now again, because this is brand new, the mat is really sticky, and so I just don't want to go really fast. All right, so here we have the little guy on the hammock. I think came out super cute. We have the little doggy in the floaty, adorable. We have the little dog in the little pool drinking something, super cute. And then we have the umbrella, which you know we can use for almost anything. So I really think that this is a good investment if your intent is to not buy dies and just have stamps, because if you add up all the dies for every stamp set you have, it's probably equivalent to this machine. If you're just looking for a machine that does it all, I'm pretty sure any vinyl would work perfectly with this. It also mentioned in the instruction book fabric as well, so definitely do your homework. I'm not going to speak on that behalf because I'm not going to be using it for that. My intention again is mainly for the die cutting purposes of my stamps. So definitely look into that and do your research before you make the investment, because it's not a cheap machine. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and checking out this video. I had fun doing this. I can't wait to play around with it some more. If I work on any other projects with this machine, I will definitely share with you guys, because maybe there's something that I'm doing that you didn't think about, and vice versa. If there's any comments you would like to leave me for options, please let me know. I love learning from you guys. And sometimes you guys have tidbits that I'm not aware of. Anyways, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will check you on the next one. Have a good day. Take care.